Okay, simplifying algebraic fractions. So we're going to start this unit. This is lesson 4.4. We're going to start this unit by remembering how to simplify regular fractions. So 45 over 125, you should look for a common factor. So that 5 goes into both of those numbers, so I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by the same number, 5. And I get 9 over 25. When you divide top and bottom both by 5, it's the same as dividing the whole fraction by 1, which actually, because 5 over 5 is the same thing as 1. So you haven't really changed 45 1/25 because you just divided by 1, but you have reduced it into a much nicer format, 9/25. So now I'm going to do the same with 32 over 36. If I'm most efficient, I would find the GCF, which is 4. Divide by 4 over 4, which is the same as dividing by 1, and I would get 8/9. Now, you could have done that in 2 steps, dividing by 2 and then dividing by 2 again on both the top and the bottom, but that just would have taken more time, although you still would get the same result. So now, we're going to look at this a different way. So now, I would like to look at 32 over 36 again, but I'm going to instead start by prime factorizing my two numbers. So 32 prime factorized would be I'm running out of room. So it's actually 2 to the 5th when you get all the way down there. 36 prime factorized would be 2 to the 2nd times 3 to the 2nd. Okay, so that's from the first lesson in this unit. So now I'm going to take what I've just figured out and use it in my fraction. So first, let me move this out of the way. So it's not in my way. Okay, so now I'm going to look at 32 and I'm going to write it instead as 2 to the 5th, which is the same as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 36 I'm going to write as 2 to the 2nd times 3 to the 2nd, because I got that from over here. And if I write that one all the way out, I'll have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Okay, now, if I have 2 over 2, as I do right here, that is the same as 1. So that cancels out because you don't need a factor of 1 in there. Same thing with the next 2 over 2. That would cancel out because 2 divided by 2 is just 1. Now I can't cancel anything else because the top only has factors of 2 and the bottom of factors of 3, so I have to leave it like that. So now I multiply what I have left. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9, and I get 8/9. Now, that's not necessarily the most efficient way to do this problem, but it's going to help you when we start looking at algebraic fractions, which involve variables. So now I'm going to move on to the next one, and we're going to employ the same strategy that I just did here. Okay, so now I have my apples. I'm getting ready for lunch. Okay, so now we're going to look at one that has variables in it. Okay, I need to move this over here. Okay, so I have 25 x to the 2nd y over 50 xy to the 3rd z. So I want to think about these in their most prime factorized form. Now 25 and 50 I tried to choose easier numbers to work with because I didn't want to spend the time prime factoring on our video. So 25, when you prime factor it, becomes 5 squared. X squared and y would just carry through. 50, when it's prime factorized, becomes 2 times 5 squared. And then I write my remaining variables there as well. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to write it all the way out. 5 times 5 times x times y over 2 times 5 times 5 times x times y times y times y times z. Okay, my fraction bar got a little weird there. So now I'm going to look for things that I can cancel out. If I have the same number on top of itself, like I do with this 5 and this 5, that's equal to 1. So that cancels out. If I have this 5 and this 5, that cancels out because it's equal to 1. This x and this x work the same way. X divided by x is 1. This x here doesn't have anything to cancel with, so I have to skip over it. However, this y and this y could cancel because they would be equal to 1. Now I have no more canceling left, so I have to multiply what's remaining out. So I go all the way across the numerator, and all I have left is x on top. And on bottom, all I have is a factor of 2, y to the second, and z. And that is a simplified algebraic fraction. Now, it's a long process, and there are many ways you can find shortcuts, and I encourage you to find them. But if you are developing understanding, this would be the place to start. Good luck.